I've never cosplayed at a movie theater before. It's definitely an ideal place to dress up as your favorite characters for any occasion.
I've never really dressed up for anything outside of Halloween. I mean, as a little girl, I dressed up as Princess Aurora, since that's who I was named after, and also Katniss Everdeen. Is it because you're very good with a bow and arrow? Actually, yes, Jean. And I've gone as Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye series for Halloween recently. And of course, I had to pick Wonder Woman since she's my favorite. I thought about going as Wonder Woman myself, but I decided to go with Starfire instead. You and David look so cute as Robin and Starfire.
Thanks, Amy. After all, Robin is my favorite Teen Titan. Don't forget, David, Robin started out as Batman's sidekick before going off on his own to become leader of the Teen Titans. Thank you for that, Calvin.
I was going to save this Wonder Woman costume for Halloween, but since Superman is finally here, I figured why the heck not?
That's right. The new DCU is here at long last. Because let's face it, the DC Universe was in dire need of a reboot after losing its momentum in its autumn years, which ended with a whimper instead of a bang. That whimper being Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the saddest ending to a dying franchise since the New Mutants. Don't forget the DCU didn't quite start with Superman. Yes, Seanic, we all got together to watch Creature Commandos in your lab.
Except me. I haven't seen Creature Commandos. I've seen Creature Commandos. It's very violent and adult, but the animation is very good. I do like animated shows, and I do like the occasional adult animated show like Hell of a Boss and Has Been a Hotel. Just not The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, Invincible, or any of that nonsense. But Creature Commandos does look interesting. I might binge watch the first season with David tonight.
And the first season of Peacemaker?
David, you know I haven't seen the Suicide Squad. Yes, I've seen the first 2 Deadpool movies, but I have not seen the Suicide Squad.
Better than Birds of Prey, I can tell you that much now. Alright folks, we've all gathered here to celebrate David and Jean's 9th anniversary as a couple. And what better way to celebrate this occasion than dressing up as our favorite DC superheroes and going to see Superman?
Just like the time David and I saw Wonder Woman together back in 2017, and Shazam in 2019.
And before we proceed any further, I've got a bit of a surprise to share with you lot. Is it what I think it is? The screenshots with silly captions that David posted for Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Yes, those ones. Oh, fuck me in my damn mouth.
Really? An F-word counter? Yeah, that seems to be a regular thing with Sonic and Sonic's film reviews. I witnessed the F-word counter right before Shadow exposed himself as a whistler. Good Christmas.
Alright, I'm gonna begin reading them now. Oh, son of a! When Silver steals your bucket of drugs the moment you get out of bed in order to pull the ghost of Shadow's bathrobe stunt before your first cup of coffee. When you visit the gift shop at the world's largest rubber band mall, and you notice a mouse having a night of wild crazy sex with a lollipop. Is that chipmunk shitting out Reese's Pieces? Bring them over here so I can eat them. Seriously, Jeff, 3 movies in and you still won't include Seanic, Calvin, or David the Wolf in any of my movies? What kind of bucket of drugs are you taking? And can I have at least 76 milligrams of it? Whenever Silver opens his mouth to talk. Jessica Jones questioning why she's not in Daredevil Born Again. When you get your own 6-episode miniseries on Paramount Plus, only to realize that it's not required viewing for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The face you make when you want to play a children's card game on motorcycles. If you're expecting me to use foul language in the Sonic and Sonic series, I want you to realize that I no longer sound like a 12-year-old, and I'm no longer considered potty-mouth power. Get your facts straight, you numbnut! Don't these boxing gloves look cute on me? I bet a lot of people are gonna ask me out to the prom if I wear these. The face you make when people keep sending angry letters to Sega demanding the Chow Guard be brought back in a future Sonic the Hedgehog game. And the closest thing they'll get is a fusion of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and the Rainforest Cafe. Are you sure this is right, having me not raised on the Space Colony Ark? Well, on the plus side, I don't have to deal with Black Doom. That sumbitch can go fuck a cactus! When you're assigned a project in chemistry class, and the lab partner you're paired up with has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and you just go along with it anyway. The face you make when someone asks you if you can whistle, but you're too embarrassed to admit that you actually can whistle. When you audition to be a playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, given what you're capable of, but you get demoted to being an assist trophy instead. When you show your friend Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time, and you reach the face melting scene. Seanic, what did I say about trying on my bathrobe without my permission? You look better in a white bathrobe if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Please refrain from questioning why I, a character from a bygone era in Sonic Adventure 2, exist in the present. Because the longer you think about it, the more I'll question the contents in your bucket of drugs. Not so fast, Seto Kaiba! You activated my trap card. Your blue-eyed white dragon will now lose 1,500 life points. James Marsden's failed audition to be the next Jeff Dunn. When you send a fully armed battalion to remind Dr. Robotnik of your love. Jessica Jones playing a children's card game with Matt Murdock about to summon the Dark Magician. A three-way crossover between Jessica Jones, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Star Wars. It's time to duel. I summon Battlelocks in attack mode, and I end my turn. Your move, Silver. Shadow feeling guilty about not being there for Seanic during the events of Seanic's invisible scars. When your power level is over 9,000, and you tell people not to compare you to Vegeta, that you can beat Vegeta to Kingdom Come with a snap of your fingers. That's right, bitch! It was I who went into your fridge last night and swapped out the Coca-Cola with Pepsi while you were asleep. Are you gonna cry about it, motherfucker? When you and your best friend are about to save the world to a kick-ass soundtrack, and you're glad that your best friend has an excellent taste in music. When you seek the power of the sun in the palm of your hand, but you're actually the incorrect Spider-Man villain. The face you make when you finally have your first kiss with Sonic in Rio de Janeiro, and you're ready to adapt Sonic CD to the big screen.
And you had to mention our first kiss before the battle of the closing ceremonies, didn't you, Sonic?
I sure did, Amy. I sure did. So there's 7 people gathered here right now. Sonic, Seanic, David, Jean, Aurora, Amy, and myself. 3 couples and 1 third wheel. I mean, yes, I have a girlfriend named Kimberly, but she's not here right now.
Shall we begin introductions?
Very well then, let's begin. Superman is the first film in the newly rebooted DC universe. A universe consisting of television, movies, video games, live action, and animation. It began with Creature Commandos on Max. Or is it HBO Max? I don't fucking know. This movie is directed by James Gunn, who most famously directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the Suicide Squad in the previous DC universe. He's the Kevin Feige of DC. This movie was originally going to be called Superman Legacy, before just being called Superman. And this movie stars David Cornsweet as Superman, who takes over the role from Henry Cavill. Well, I'll be damned. A guy named David as the new Superman. I'm a David, and I'm dressed as Robin. Well, we did see Knuckles dressed as Superman earlier, and Tails dressed as Cyborg, like in those comic books we've been getting since March. And of course, Shadow and Silver dressing up as Batman and Green Lantern. And there being 3 shorts dedicated to the 2 of them dressing up and getting into their own shenanigans, knowing Shadow and Silver and how they get on each other's nerves.
And Seanic going to the beach in his bathrobe and sending me a selfie. Oh, Seanic, you look so handsome.
Hey, thanks, Aurora. I'm trying not to blush here.
But you're failing quite spectacularly.
Damn it.
This movie also stars Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, taking over from Amy Adams. So a Superman actor named after the Wolf Boy and a Lois Lane actress named after me. Who's next? A Lex Luthor played by an actor named Sonic?
No, actually, it's Nicholas Hoult, fresh off of playing Beast in 4 X-Men movies. And then we have a colorful cast of characters appearing alongside Superman. There's Mr. Terrific, played by Eddie Cathegi, Metamorpho, played by Anthony Carrigan, best known for playing NoHo Hank in the HBO series Barry, and Calypso in the Peacock series Twisted Metal. Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced, fresh off of playing Dina in Season 2 of The Last of Us, a live-action Dora the Explorer in Dora and the Lost City of Gold, Alien Romulus, and the dreaded Madam Web. And there's Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern with a bowl cut.
There's been a surprising lack of Green Lanterns in the previous DC universe with Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Gal Gadot. Especially since Eggman hate-watched Green Lantern in 2011.
I just don't get Eggman's taste in movies. He loves all the movies that we hate, yet he admitted that he hates Green Lantern. As soon as Eggman interrupts us in that fucking onesie of his, we have some serious questions to ask him. But nobody's gonna hate-watch the new Lantern series on HBO with Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre. And also starring in this movie is Superman's trusty dog Krypto. Last time we saw him was in an animated Super Pets movie where he was voiced by Black Adam himself, with Keanu Reeves voicing Batman. And returning from Creature Commandos is Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr., whose son Rick Flag Jr. was killed by Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad. And unlike his animated counterpart in Creature Commandos, Frank Grillo didn't dye his hair gray because he was filming a different show at the time. It was completely against dyeing his hair.
Alright then, that's everything for now. Let's get started before Eggman shows up in an embarrassing onesie.
Excuse me, Amy, but this is not a onesie. It's a cosplay of the Riddler from Batman Forever.
It's a onesie, Eggman. I haven't seen Batman Forever, but I know Jim Carrey plays the Riddler.
You ain't missing much with Batman Forever, but at least it's miles better than Batman and Robin. And may Val Kilmer rest in peace. So, since DC has been doing that collaboration with Sonic the Hedgehog, I figured this would be a perfect time to whip out my Riddler cosplay. Riddle me this. Who fucking asked for you to dress up as the Riddler? I did! And it's certainly better than dressing up as Lex Luthor. I mean, I understand that some bitch is bald, but having me dress up as Lex Luthor because of that being the sole reason? Come on! You're not even trying! Neither are you. Remember the time you tried to rob a Starbucks in that onesie and you ran into Shadow and Silver? How could I forget? That latte I got was iced, and I prefer my lattes to be hot like my temper! So, Dr. Hot-Tempered Madman, would you mind fucking right off and letting us discuss this movie in peace? You're ruining a special occasion, me and G's 9th anniversary as a couple. And I see the two of you dressed as Robin and Starfire. You two look rather cute together.
Ew, that sounds creepy coming from you. Don't you have Chaos Emeralds to find and a chess game to play with Metal Sonic?
How did you know I played chess with Metal Sonic? Because that's what happens when you're a sad, lonely, down on his luck loser who doesn't have anything better to do with his life.
You're a loser, baby, a loser, goddamn baby, you're a fucked up little whiny bitch. You're a loser just like me. You're a screw loose boozer and only 1-star reviewer. You're a power bottom, head rock bottom, but you got company.
Stop that! Stop that! You're not going into a Has-Been Hotel song while I'm here! How ironic. For someone who doesn't like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you sure love quoting it randomly. Shadow! Silver! Nice pajamas, you two! You've seen us wear these around. They're not pajamas, you nitwit! They're not even bathrobes! They're cosplays! Ooh! A green and animated supersuit! I haven't seen that since I hate watch Green Lantern in 2011. We fucking get it! I question your taste in movies sometimes. You hate Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and you love the 2015 version of Fantastic Four. Yet you admit to hating Green Lantern? Speaking of Fantastic Four, can you believe they're making another Fantastic Four movie? That actually looks good, compared to the 2015 masterpiece that you two claim to have hate-watched. Oh, you mean the Fantastic Four First Steps? This will definitely blow Van fuck up 4 into the fucking water. But that doesn't answer why you admitted to hating Green Lantern. The poor special effects, Ryan Reynolds being a poor choice for the role, and it was a snooze fest! At least we're all on the same page over Green Lantern being hot garbage. Alright, losers, have fun with your Superman review. If you need me, I'll be in my lair playing chess with Metal Sonic. Squad-a-la, I'm off! Doesn't Eggman know that YTPs are so 2006? Tell me, Bandit Sonic, nobody references those anymore. So, now that Eggman's gone, shall we get back to reviewing that film? And celebrate me and Jean's 9th anniversary as a couple in style?
Would you care to join us, Shadow and Silver?
We would, but Silver and I have plans. Silver has a date with Blaze, while I have some important stuff to take care of. Like practicing your whistling? Sounds like you don't need practice after all. That's R2-D2 language for shut your damn ass up! That's not a real language and you know it, Shadow! Oh, really now? Oh, fuck off, Shadow!
Alrighty then, shall we?
Alright, here we go. Our thoughts on the birth of the true DC universe. Well, after Creature Commandos, of course. This is Superman. The DC Studios logo is the exact same as seen in Creature Commandos. And they just dive right into the story, rather than going over the origins of Superman since everyone knows the story by now.
There's one major difference between the movie and Man of Steel. Man of Steel shows the origins of Superman and where he comes from, while dealing with General Zod. Here, he has to deal with Lex Luthor being an evil son of a bitch.
And we see that Nicholas Hoult is a much better pick for Lex Luthor than Jesse Eisenberg. That's a more painfully miscast role than Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad. He's just ruthlessly evil that you just really despise the sumbitch right from the get-go. He captures and tortures Crypto, trashes the Fortress of Solitude and dismantles the Superman robots, and plays fucking Russian roulette with the hostage to mentally torture Superman. And he brought Anya Taylor-Joy to an island restaurant where the head chef plans to kill the guests. And he cooked an absolutely dubious dish dubbed Tyler's bullshit. David, I don't think everyone here has seen the menu. Crap!
One job, David.
This movie does a much better job at world building than Man of Steel and Batman v Superman combined. Because Batman v Superman tried to cram too much stuff into one movie, and the result was a very convoluted mess and a DC universe that was doomed to fail.
Oi! Sonic! Wonder Woman was great, although I can't really say the same about Wonder Woman 1984. And don't get me started on her cameo in The Flash. Shazam was also really good. And so was the Suicide Squad.
That universe had occasional hits, but in its autumn years, it was just flop after flop. Black Adam, Shazam Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and let's not forget the movie that abided by the infamous guidebook, How to Kill a Dying Franchise in 5 months or less.
You mean Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?
Yes, that's exactly right. A movie that ended up with auditorium so empty that Goku and Vegeta can have their Dragon Ball fights without any interruptions.
Sheesh! Looks like nobody gave a fucking a half about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Anyway, with text on the screen, we see that metahumans have been around for centuries, paving a new way for gods and monsters. Hence the first chapter of the new DC Universe, Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And a brief text about the origins of Superman that we didn't need to see on screen because we've seen it with Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill. And Clark Kent has been Superman for 3 years. Superman even stopped war between the fictional countries of Baravia and Jarhanpur, which made him a controversial figure. Not unlike what was seen in Batman v Superman.
Can we please keep the compromisings to Batman v Superman to a minimum?
Sorry, Aurora, but Superman loses his first fight to a villain called the Hammer of Baravia.
Oh, heck no! How dare they take my weapon of choice and bludgeon Superman to a bloody pulp?
I know, Amy, but he does whistle for Krypto. He keeps attacking a wounded Superman because he's a naughty dog. And there we go, folks! David the Wolf Boy whistled just like David Cornsweat. I had to, and Robin whistled a couple times in Teen Titans, and turned whistling into a weapon in Teen Titans Go.
Oh no, not Teen Titans Go! Anything but that!
What if we told you that Seanic and I actually met the Teen Titans Go cast?
I know, the legal crisis in 2017, you told us that 2,376 times.
This version of Krypto doesn't talk or have the voice of Dwayne Johnson. Instead, he's just a dog with a cape. He keeps jumping on an injured Superman and causes a big mess. But Krypto does bring an injured Superman to the Fortress of Solitude so he can be nursed back to health by Superman robots. All I have to do to heal Superman's injuries is expose him to the power of the sun, meaning that he doesn't need SPF 50 sunscreen when he goes to the beach. Instead of Russell Crowe playing Jor-El, it's Bradley Cooper, who speaks in a Kryptonian language that's not English. But instead of sending him to Earth to inspire humanity, we realize that Superman's biological parents are fucking Viltrumites.
What the hell is a Viltrumite?
Viltrumites are from the Amazon Prime adult animated series Invincible. They come from the planet Viltrum, and they conquer other races and eradicate them, leaving bloody, gory corpses in their wake.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, but unlike Omni-Man, Invincible wants to use his Viltrumite parents for good. And Superman in this movie is the exact same way. Invincible might be a bit much for you ladies.
Yeah, hard pass, but Creature Commandos looks interesting. Fully healed from his injuries, Superman flies at supersonic speed back over to Metropolis to do battle with the Hammer of Baravia, who is actually a clone of Superman known as Ultraman.
Not to be confused with Ultraman from Japanese pop culture. Thank you for that, Calvin. Ultraman is being controlled by Lex to take down Superman. And this version of Lex Luthor is pure evil compared to Gene Hackman, Kevin Spacey, and Jesse Eisenberg. I must give props to Nicholas Hoult. He did a fantastic job. And there's a lot of familiar names from the 1978 film like Eve Teschmacher and Otis. Miss Teschmacher is an online influencer taking selfies and secretly works with Jimmy Olsen, played by Skylar Gisondo, who also played Gwen Stacy's younger brother in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Even Jimmy was one of my favorite things about the movie. Same with Clark and Lois's relationship, and of course, Krypto. We also see Lex meeting at the Pentagon with government officials like Rick Flag Sr., father of Rick Flag from the Suicide Squad. He doesn't have a whole lot of scenes in this movie, but we'll see more of him in season 2 of Peacemaker.
And speaking of Peacemaker, he makes a funny cameo appearance as a guest on a new show mocking Superman.
I have not seen the first season of Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad for that matter, but I heard it's funny and violent.
It is. And very fucking vulgar.
Oh, joy.
And we see Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet with Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. We see in the TV monitors how Superman has become a controversial figure in Baravia, when he was just trying to stop a war and prevent people from dying, unlike his Viltrumite parents. Clark then arrives at Lois's apartment where she knows that Clark Kent is Superman, and she interviews him as Superman, and things get heated between the two of them as she calls him out for getting involved in foreign affairs between the two warring countries. One of Lex's associates is the Engineer, a member of a team known as the Authority, which is getting its own movie in the new DC Universe. The Engineer has nanotechnology that turns her body into any kind of weapon she can imagine, including a poisonous substance that causes Superman to suffocate in the final battle. There's also a cameo appearance from Christopher Reeve's son, Will Reeve, as a news reporter, which is amazing.
The Engineer finds the Fortress of Solitude, and she, as well as Lex and his associates, trash the fortress, destroy the Superman robots, and capture poor Krypto and trapped him in a pocket dimension.
As this happens, Lex summons the kaiju to decimate Metropolis as a diversion. We're introduced to the Justice League. Oh, I'm sorry, Justice Gang. We have Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern with a bowl cut, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific, the best supporting character in the entire movie.
Guy Gardner is a bit of a jackass and is set to appear in Peacemaker Season 2 and the Lantern series on HBO. And Hawk Girl is an important member of the Justice League, and I ran into her in Supergirl in the 3rd issue of the DC X Seanic comic, and there's also Hawkman, who also appeared as a member of the Justice Society in Black Adam.
And Mr. Terrific stole the show. He has a whole bunch of nanotech and has a hovercraft that he uses to get around. And he helps Lois rescue Superman, who is brought into a pocket dimension. And he's a badass. Mr. Terrific also appears in 2 issues of DCX Sonic. Just as we were about to cosplay as the Justice League. Well, at least the main Sonic canon, and not Seanic, Calvin, David, and the ladies.
We get the point, Sonic. The entirety of Dimension 76 is in a DC craze. Even more so than Marvel. If we were to cosplay as Marvel characters, I have no clue who would be who. And just because I have a hammer doesn't mean I will be dressed as Thor. Thank you very much.
I would be either Spider-Man or Captain America. Tails would be Iron Man. Knuckles would be either Wolverine or the Hulk. And I have no idea who else. There's so many Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man variants, Guardians of the Galaxy, and let's also not forget the Fantastic Four. After Superman and the Justice Gang defeat the Kaiju, Lex, like the cold-hearted asshole he is, takes Superman's parents' damage message and broadcasts it to the entire world. And so, the whole world turns against Superman because his parents are a bunch of psychotic, genocidal Viltrumites.
This is exactly what General Zod was plotting in Man of Steel, except that Kal-El's own fucking parents wanted Superman to be a conqueror like Omni-Man and Homelander.
This is why Superman is nothing like Omni-Man and Homelander. He wants to help people and protect them from the forces of evil. Omni-Man comes from a race of conquerors bent on the extinction of humanity, and Homelander is just a narcissistic sociopath and a fucking monster. Omni-Man will tear Superman limb from limb, and Homelander will eat him for breakfast. But if it were Henry Cavill and not David Cornsweet, then he would show no mercy, as innocent people die due to his actions. And that's why Ben Affleck initially sees Superman as a threat.
And this is why I feel like David Cornsweet, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce his last name right, does a better job at embodying the character of Superman than Henry Cavill. And dare I say, he's just as great a Superman as Christopher Reeve. And so the public has turned against Superman because of the message leaked by Lex.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
Just like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
Yes, Amy, exactly like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And so, Superman slips away from the public spotlight while Guy, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific take care of an interdimensional beast. All while we see a PG-13 cameo from the one and only Peacemaker, a hard R character known for his foxy gory kills.
I was not expecting to see Peacemaker in this movie, despite the fact that I haven't seen the Suicide Squad or the first season of Peacemaker.
And hopefully this conundrum with Kal-El's parents being Viltrumites will be looked into more with Supergirl.
Isn't Aquaman returning in that movie?
Not Aquaman. Jason Momoa is part of the new DC universe, but instead of Aquaman, he's set to play Lobo in Supergirl.
Lobo? You mean the Spanish word for wolf?
There's an iconic DC villain named Lobo, and Jason Momoa will be portraying him in Supergirl, and I'm sure he'll make a better Lobo than Aquaman. And this is the part of the movie where Superman turns into John Wick.
You mean Shadow?
No, Amy, John Wick, the assassin who goes on a murderous revenge quest because his dog was shot.
I only said Shadow because, Keanu Reeves.
I know. But Superman does fly at supersonic speed back to the Fortress of Solitude to find that Lex trashed the fortress, the robots, and kidnapped Crypto. And he furiously interrogates Lex, trashing his office and asking where Crypto is. And in this universe, Lex works for Luthor Corp instead of LexCorp, unlike Jesse Eisenberg in Batman v Superman. And Nicholas Hoult is actually a good choice to play Lex, but he's no Gene Hackman. May he rest in peace.
And so Superman turns himself into authorities, with Rick Flag Sr. handing him over to Lex. He is then imprisoned in a pocket dimension where Crypto is being detained and tortured. Not the baby! Not the pushy poopy! Gene, settle down. We know you love dogs. We know about Lucy. Calm down. Can I please continue? Yeah, right. I'm sorry. He is put in a cell with a shape-shifting metahuman named Metaformo, who can change his body into any kind of element, even kryptonite. And there's a bunch of monkeys in the pocket dimension too. Oh, Diddy is not going to be happy about this. Neither is Dixie, or Tiny, or DK. And I'm not happy because of what they did to poor Crypto. And we get to see how truly evil this take on Lex Luthor is when he plays Russian roulette with a guy who helped Superman out in the past as well as trapping his ex-girlfriend.
And the thing with Metamorpho is that his son, baby Joey, is in a separate cell, and he is forced to torture Superman by turning his arm into pure kryptonite. Eve is growing tired of Lex's abuse, and she secretly contacts Jimmy Olsen from time to time. Her relationship with Jimmy is one of the highlights of the film. Same with Clark and Lois's relationship, as we see them kissing while flying in an abandoned shopping mall. Although nowhere near as iconic as Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder flying around the world in 1978.
Or Tobey Maguire sharing an upside-down kiss with Kristen Dunst.
I'm noticing some similarities between this film and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Especially with the relationships between our heroes and their love interests, the enemies they face, and the conflicts in regards to their heroism. Lois, worried sick about Clark, seeks the help from the Justice Gang at the Hall of Justice. A location that wasn't even featured in the other DC universe with Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, or Ezra fucking Miller. But Guy and Hawkgirl aren't much help, and Lois even disses Guy's haircut. Oh, a Green Lantern who's a total jackass. I haven't seen that since I hate-watched Green Lantern in 2011.
Just let Silver left the room so he can hear that. The only member of the Justice Gang who actually got off his ass to help Lois is Mr. Terrific, who keeps a hollow craft inside a slow-opening garage door.
Mr. Terrific steals the show in this movie, especially when he and Lois arrive at the Pocket Dimension and he takes out Lex's goons with his tech. All while we hear 5 Years Time by Noah and the Whale playing in the background. And unlike Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, there's not a whole lot of licensed music throughout this movie. Probably for the better. But there's times where licensed songs fit, and times where they don't. Like Take On Me in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, or Bohemian Rhapsody in 2016 Suicide Squad. After watching Lex play Russian roulette with a civilian who helped Superman in the past, Metamorpho is horrified to see him going through such agony. And since he's become very weak due to the kryptonite, Metamorpho creates an element close enough to the power of the sun in the palm of his hands to heal Superman and help him escape.
Together, Superman and Metaformo save baby Joey and Crypto, and they leg it out of the Pocket Dimension. They meet up with Lois and Mr. Terrific, and they take him to Smallville, Kansas, where Clark's adopted parents, Jonathan and Martha, live. And no, I'm not going to reference that fucking scene in Batman v Superman, where Batman and Superman both have mothers named Martha.
Yeah, moving forward, we do not mention Zack Snyder in this dimension. That universe was doomed to fail. Especially given how much of a mess Batman v Superman was. There have been a couple of hits in the form of Wonder Woman, Shazam, and the Suicide Squad, but everything else was mid at best. And when Black Adam came around, you could tell the DCEU was beyond fucked. And then there's the DC Elseworlds movies, particularly Joker and the Batman. Joker was a great character study showing how society can fuck with one's mental health and turn him to insanity. But Joker Folie à Deux is where they really went off the fucking rails. The Batman, however, is pure cinema. Robert Pattinson made a perfect live-action Batman. There were plenty of beautifully shot scenes, and this version of Gotham was more of a crime-ridden cesspool than what we got with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. And then we have The Penguin, the best HBO original series since Game of Thrones and The Last of Us. This is a hard R series full of fox galore, blood, gore, and a whole ton of adult content. It is not for children. But The Penguin is a fantastic follow-up to The Batman, and it's a great way to bridge the gap between The Batman and The Batman Part 2.
While Superman is recovering, he is given a very powerful speech by Pa Kent. And this goes to show that this version of the character is way more inspiring to Superman than Kevin Costner in Man of Steel. And he's still alive, unlike what happened in the 1978 Superman and Man of Steel.
After this movie, I will never look at Man of Steel ever again. Lex is beyond pissed that Superman escaped from the Pocket Dimension, and he has his men increase the power of the Pocket Dimension reactor to lure Superman out, which results in a rift tearing across Metropolis.
And as the citizens of Metropolis are evacuated, and really quickly catch a glimpse of a street sign that says Gotham City on it, meaning that Batman already exists in this universe.
Batman is briefly seen in an episode of Creature Commandos, but we have no idea who's playing him in the new DC universe. And we know it's not Robert Pattinson. And we know that Batman's debut in this universe will be in a movie called The Brave and the Bold, directed by the same sumbitch who directed The Flash. Oh, poor CGI. I haven't seen that since I hate-watched The Flash in 2023. Okay, are we really gonna make this a thing now? Where we see something in a movie that reminds us of movies we hate? Oh, Isabella Merced. I haven't seen her since I hate-watched Madam Web in 2024.
Okay, boys, that's enough.
Sorry, Amy. While the Pocket Dimension is eating up Metropolis, Bravia is about to invade Jarhanpur a second time. And while Superman and Mr. Terrific handle Metropolis, the rest of the Justice Gang stop the invasion where Guy Gardner summons middle fingers with his Green Lantern ring. And we now know that live-action Green Lanterns have come a long way since Ryan Reynolds' abysmal take on Hal Jordan in 2011.
I wouldn't know because I haven't seen Green Lantern.
Good. Stay the fuck away from Green Lantern.
Not only did Deadpool bash on Green Lantern, but so did Eggman.
Eve secretly sends Jimmy everything the Daily Planet needs to take down Lex in the form of selfies with important information in the background, like documents and evidence of Lex's crimes. And with the evidence in hand, the Daily Planet boards Mr. Terrific's hovercraft and sets out to expose Lex for the asshole he is. Superman then gets into an intense battle with the Engineer and Ultraman, who's revealed to be a clone of Superman created by Lex, played by David Cornsweet, no less. Right after he almost suffocates due to the Engineer's nanotech entering his lungs. And what's more, Superman does his tea kettle whistle to summon Krypto and have him assist Superman in finishing off Ultraman.
Really? Again with the tea kettles? Damn you, David. You, my good David, are a whistling show-off.
Yes, I know. Superman then defeats the Engineer after sending Ultraman to the Pocket Dimension. And the Daily Planet finally exposes Lex Luthor for the criminal he is, as well as his involvement in the war between the two nations. Hawkgirl drops the president of Bravia to his death, and the people of Jarhanpur are begging for Superman to come help them. And while the Justice Gang is stopping the war, Superman corners Lex while Mr. Terrific seals the rift to the Pocket Dimension. He goes on to give an inspiring speech about his humanity, and how he strives to fight for truth, justice, and the American way, even more so than Henry Cavill.
And like a good boy he is, Krypto attacks Lex as he is arrested for his crimes and sent to Belle Rave, the prison where most of the Suicide Squad is imprisoned.
Except that Lex Luthor is not Suicide Squad material, and he doesn't have what it takes to be part of Task Force X.
Exactly!
And so, Superman is once again praised as a hero, and Krypto is seen playing with the monkeys who are trapped in the Pocket Dimension.
And like I said, Diddy and Dixie are not going to be happy about that.
Metamorpho is also inducted as an honorary member of the Justice Gang, which is still a working title for the Justice League. And I'm hoping that the next Justice League movie turns out better than the ones from the other DC universe, because of Batman v Superman being a complete fucking mess that was rushed in setting up the Justice League.
Yes, Seanic, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is not a good movie. I feel like we spent a majority of this movie bashing on Batman v Superman.
There's DC movies that are so bad it's good, like Superman 4 The Quest for Peace, where we just laughed our asses off at how bad the special effects are. There's DC movies that are just plain awful that it makes us angry when we think about them, like Batman and Robin, Green Lantern, Suicide Squad, The Flash, and Joker Folie à Deux. Then there's a movie that went off the rails and doomed an entire franchise to fail. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Oh, a convoluted plot and a messy story. I haven't seen that since I hate-watched Batman v Superman in 2016.
Really, Sonic?
You heard nothing, I swear!
Shame on you, Sonic, quoting Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Sorry, Amy.
So anyway, Superman and Lois float around an empty shopping mall and share a kiss, while Jimmy and Eve start a relationship after Lex Luthor gets what he fucking deserves.
Except he didn't get shot in the head on live TV by the Joker.
I wouldn't know, I haven't seen Joker.
Watch Joker, skip Joker Folie à Deux.
Alrighty then. And before the credits roll, Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude, where one of the Superman robots calls himself Gary, and then we get our first appearance from Supergirl 1 year before getting her very own movie.
And from this scene alone, Millie Alcock already makes a much better Supergirl than Sasha Calle in The Flash, and Helen Slater from the 1984 Supergirl movie. Although I've not seen Melissa Benoist's Supergirl in the Arrowverse. I don't think anyone here gives a single fuck about Arrow, CW's The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, or that fucking Batwoman series. If The Flash appears in this new DC universe, please, for the love of God, cast someone who isn't Ezra Miller. And please bring back Shazam. Maybe cast someone other than Zachary Levi this time, and a younger Billy Batson.
And I really don't think Gal Gadot is coming back as Wonder Woman in this universe after her disgraceful cameo in The Flash.
Patience, everyone! We're only 2 projects in with this new DC universe, with Peacemaker Season 2 coming sooner than we think, and also Lanterns. So anyway, the reason Supergirl is at the Fortress of Solitude is to pick up Krypto while being completely fucking wasted! And while he's sunbathing, he looks at his childhood memories with Ma and Pa Kent, instead of his Viltrumite parents. And as the credits roll, we see Superman and Krypto sitting on the moon, as well as a funny scene with Superman and Mr. Terrific. And there you go, folks, the start of the true DC universe. Take that, Zack Snyder! This version of Superman did what Man of Steel failed to do. No disrespect to Henry Cavill. He made a good Superman, but David Gordon is the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. Classic James Gunn humor from Guardians of the Galaxy to the Suicide Squad. World building that's more fleshed out and not rushed by including too many characters and too many elements. A Lex Luthor played by a familiar actor who is already 1,000 times better than Jesse Eisenberg. It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
Krypto was easily my favorite character in the movie.
He's such a good boy.
Except when he attacks an injured Superman at the beginning of the movie.
Just like Iron Man in 2008 and Spider-Man in 2002, this movie does an excellent job of setting up a new universe featuring iconic characters from comic books.
Even though we kept comparing this movie to Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, this is looking up to be the DC universe we've all been waiting for. And dare I say, I'm really excited to see where the rest of this DC universe goes with Peacemaker Season 2, Lanterns, Supergirl, Clayface, and more.
Creature Commandos was but a mere taste of what this fresh new DC universe is like, but Superman is the true fresh start we all needed. I'm giving Superman an S rank.
S for Sonic or S for Superman?
Can it be both?
Sure, it can be both.
And just like that, our 9th anniversary festivities have come to a close.
And I'm glad I could celebrate with a super wolf boy.
And a wonderful woman.
Excuse me, I'm the one cosplaying as Wonder Woman here. Just kiss and get it over with. You two are just like Robin and Starfire.
Now that we got that out of the way, what say you to keeping these cosplays on and doing a Creature Commandos binge fest, followed by the 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman?
Yes, please.
Hey, Dante.
What do you want? I'm not in the damn mood.
What's going into you? You never act like this.
Because you left without telling me. Second, I don't act like anything, so just stop talking to me.
Dante, please stop acting like...
What, a stupid kid? Yeah, I'm still over what you said to me months ago.
Dante, I said I was sorry.
Sorry won't fucking cut it. Stay away from me.
Dante?
I'm sorry. I need to go.
Dante was chill after what happened. I know, but it's best if we give him time. Right. Poor kid, he probably was under a lot of pressure. Hey, let me go! I got you now! You will join the Eggman Empire and destroy Sonic and Shonik!